Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where creativity comes to donate extensive amounts of bone marrow prior to being pilfered of its rotting corpse until every last cent is squeezed meticulously from every last orifice. A phase inaugurated by a level of writing that has provided what can only be described as a quintessential clown movie. Good God, you outdid yourselves. I'm beyond impressed. As the episode begins, we get a montage of quotes from characters that allude to a certain Dany becoming a certain baddie.
Every time a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin.
The Mad King gave his enemies the justice he thought they deserved.
Targaryen, alone in the world, is a terrible thing.
You don't want to wake the dragon.
Children are not their father.
Be a dragon.
This is called subtlety, and it means the writers are concerned that the audience won't believe an upcoming event in the show, and so they collected any and all statements that could specifically support said event throughout the series and wedged it all into a montage, pre-game, in the hopes that anyone who thought Daenerys wouldn't kill scores of children might be convinced otherwise. And did it work?
I don't think she decided ahead of time that she was going to do what she did.
You don't think? Aren't you the one who writes these characters, you quantum retard? Dany has been swapped out for another character. It's a plain and simple assassination, and as much as Luke Skywalker held the title previously, Daenerys Targaryen is the most horrific example of a character assassination that I have ever seen in media. It is a literal U-turn. A woman who fought for the release and protection of the innocent that ends up burning hundreds of thousands of them with no fucking remorse for no fucking reason. A complete contradiction, and they are welcome to be proud of winning that award. Wait, what? They submitted the finale for a writing Emmy? Are you fucking kidding me? Is Clown World actually real? If you find yourself using a small piece of foreshadowing to justify the biggest event in your story, then you have likely become a hack writer that is desperate to create a payoff that you want, but simply cannot have. Not that foreshadowing was even relevant to this story, since Daenerys was never in a scenario where she was happy to kill children for no reason. It's simply a buzzword being tossed around in defense of terrible writing. So this entire thing is fucked regardless. Daenerys Targaryen has become the most hideous monster to ever haunt Westeros. Varys was completely justified, Cersei was completely justified, Robert Baratheon was completely justified. This fucking wine merchant is the unsung martyr of Westeros. The audience has been completely betrayed, and her character will forever be remembered as a stupid, maniacal, mass-murdering, quasi-Satan muppet, motivated by her lack of options to get laid. How is do you this fucking stupid? But ignoring that abominable action scene in terms of the details, something is dwarfing the rest of the phenomenal writing, and that is the thorough assassination of both Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Romantomonomolov, or whatever the fuck they're going with. They just executed hundreds of people. They trapped guards in with their prisoners while destroying many sources of power and communication. And if you think they deserve it because they're prisoners, or because they are members of law enforcement, then you aren't mature enough to watch Postman fucking Pat. Marvel, or rather Hollywood, don't have a single moral bone in their gangly reptile bodies. They have no idea why doing any particular action is good or bad. They praise the downright demonic activity of their heroes, while often shitting all over villains who attempt to find a way to neutralize the situation.
You've taken an entire town hostage.
Well, I'm not the one with the guns, Director.
Let's talk about characters, shall we? Rey is trying to discover what her lineage is so that she can discover something about herself. Again. And as a result of that, we don't have any time to learn anything about her. Again. Because her lineage is not actually important to her character, which is what they said in The Force Awakens, and that she can find people who become influential to her, crafting her character instead of looking back. And that's if I'm being very generous. Only that changed in TLJ to, it's not that it's not important, it's that it's nobody that would matter, which doesn't actually make sense in-universe, but it does make sense in a meta-commentary sort of way, because we all expected her to be a Kenobi, a Skywalker, or a Palpatine. What the writers fail to grasp is that even if her mother's name was Jane Doe, she would still be a character. She would still have a history. She wouldn't be nobody to Rey. Either way, it still means it's ultimately not important, and they wasted another movie of development time to say nothing, which leads us here. A story that tells us no, it's not that it's nobody, and it's not that it doesn't matter. It's that it's somebody, but it's somebody that doesn't define her. Somebody that doesn't matter. The entire trilogy has spent so long telling us that Rey isn't defined by any other person that they forgot to define her. God damn it, stop punishing me for thinking. The absolute state of Lucasfilm. Just what the Jaime Lannister is not stupid, fuck off. Jaime Lannister would not get himself caught because of his golden hand. He would cover it up like he did in season 7 and like he does in this very fucking episode, you feckless hemorrhoids. Tyrion is then seen walking through the wreckage of the front gate while the fire is still actively burning and enemy soldiers are running around him. What the fuck is he doing? You are very noticeable, sir. People are aware that the imp is the hand of the fucking foreign queen. Why in the world would you be doing something so incredibly stupid? Oh, because he needs to prepare himself for Pikachu face. Are you stupid fuck? The villain is then given his opportunity to share his motivation in full, explaining what his purpose here is, and it's fucking laughable. He explains that he wants to exploit the animals for money, just like Heels did all those years ago by signing off on the Indominus Rex. So you see, they are no different. And I shit you not, she is stunned by this. She has no argument for him. But since I do this shit for a living, let me help you, Heels, you fucking tool. Heels considers her actions in Jurassic World to now be morally wrong, and has since tried to rectify them by creating her dumbass help center for dinosaurs that they don't have access to. However stupid it may be, this means she thinks that you are doing something wrong, and that she's made this same mistake before. Secondly, bad guy lied to everyone involved outside of the mercenaries. He lied to get the specialists to come, and he lied to Discount Hammond to fund everything. Heels didn't lie to anyone when she signed for the Indominus Rex. Thirdly, it was a product she helped create and sell on a legal market. The public understood what they were buying, as did those who were developing it. Bad guy is doing this illegally with an attempt to run it through the black market instead. Finally, bad guy is willing to have people kidnapped and killed to complete his vision, while Heels cancelled the entire thing once a single life was threatened. You two are very fucking far away from each other in terms of characters, but Heels is too retarded to understand that. This is such a weak effort to make the villain understandable. Please try a little harder next time.
Step 1 of life on the land. Change your appearance. And if you're gonna be attached to me, you're going blonde too.
Why the fuck does Daffy Duck have a stronger grasp on espionage than Black fucking Widow? And maybe you're thinking this is ridiculous. How could they possibly be joking around while being hunted to death by an army of Black Widows after reuniting over their shared history of torture, indoctrination, and mind control, after having been torn from each other at an early age? Especially when the joke is that she's watched her on TV to find this out, keeping an eye on her despite having been ditched. Not to mention knowing all of that but not knowing that she's currently wanted, which would change the plot entirely. Why do we get this aborted mix of tones that cripple each side? Well, because it's Marvel, and they literally have joke mandates, fucking joke ratio requirements. I hope it was worth it. I'm going to take this opportunity to say that for the last year and a half, a podcast I run with Rags had a bet going with the guests. The bet was to choose who you thought would be the most inconsistent character in the Rise of Skywalker in reference to their past appearances. Now, every character was on the table except Palpatine, because we didn't actually know he was going to be in the film before making this bet, and I think a lot of people would have chosen him, so, you know, it wouldn't be fair. I think there's reason to assume that he wasn't going to be in this film. But someone else was disqualified, and that's Kylo fucking Ren, because my god, this character is so utterly inconsistent that he's become the personification of tangled up Christmas tree lights drenched in yogurt and acid. I'm not even going to pretend that he has some semblance of a through line in these films. Be good, be bad, I don't give a shit anymore, just commit, you greased weasel. Which brings us, lovingly, to Jon fucking Snow.
I don't want it. I never have.
I don't want it, and that's what I told him.
She is our queen.
And you will always be my queen.
She is my queen.
I love you.
That selection of clips is all from one fucking episode. John's dialogue options have been truncated down into two simple choices: submit or whine. This man is a paragon of virtue and sacrifice. He makes the lives of innocents better at any cost to his own, no matter their fucking flag. And we see him stand there, confused at the sight of pain, suffering, rape, and destruction of a surrendered set of thousands, until the majority of them are either butchered or incinerated. Go fuck yourself, Jake Snow. I actually hope that in your day-to-day life your socks stay wet. That's how much I hate you.
But MauLer, this is about dinosaurs. It doesn't need to make sense.
The first damn film made sense. The rest of them forgot what sense is, and that's what bothers me. You can't ignore your own continuity, you silly bastards. But yeah, world building isn't a thing films like to do these days. They don't even try, so fuck it. I mean, in fairness, people believe that you shouldn't consider the second and third films to be canon, and that there is promotional material to explain that they moved all the dinosaurs from Site B to A. This just adds way more universal questions to the movies, but I'm cutting that shit at the roots. It should absolutely have been mentioned in the films, so it ain't good writing, folks. Site B exists, you fucks. It practically undoes the entire plot of this film. You acknowledge Malcolm, but not the island he spent most of his screen time on because you just want to get people in the cinema. It's not that you want to tell a good fucking story. World building once again takes a back seat to tell a tale that doesn't work even when there is no universe behind it. Familiar, anyone?
Go away!
Where do I begin? The world building has once again been sidelined or ignored for the sake of spectacle and throwaway lines. We know nothing of the situation with the First Order and their control. An apparent year has passed since the destruction of the Republic, and the planets throughout the galaxy have simply been ignored. What do people think about the First Order outside of the fact that they just turn up at the end? Are they even in control of anything? What about the so-called free planets? How exactly are they even free? Didn't Bespin fall to a single siege from a Star Destroyer? Why did they even resist? Why would any planet even resist something as powerful as the First Order? How would they even resist? What is happening in this world?
No!
No, you're supposed to say loose, you fucking fridge magnet. But I want to move away from that stupid because it's about to be dwarfed by different stupid. A more potent, deafening stupid. I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is real. This is a thing, okay? I'm not lying to you. Okay. As Kylo moves through, we see a whole bunch of test tubes and containers with botched Snoke clones. I say again, botched Snoke clones. Literally attempts at creating Supreme Leader Snokes, implying that Emperor Palpatine can just create from scratch a hyper-powerful Force user from his fucking bedroom in an instant. Snoke has been around since before Luke had tried to murder Kylo in his sleep, so yeah. Creamy Sheev has been busy. I mean, somehow he could have made an entire army of scrotum-faced, hyper-powerful Andy-Serkis CGI motherfuckers by now. He hasn't, but, you know, precedent is there. No longer does it take a lifetime of training and struggle to become the most powerful Force user in the galaxy. You can just poop one out of a test tube and drop him into the leading seat of the mightiest Empire clone that ever existed. Just like that. This is on top of the fact that the drama is generated for no fucking reason. Stupid biology girl just pulls the gun on Bill. The doors are left open because the iPad got smashed, leading to the suburban Mosasaurus. Fuck off. You have absolutely no respect for the franchise that you're attempting to grow. You took superficial elements like shoving as many dinosaurs down our throats as possible while arbitrarily bringing back references or characters to make us giddy to think we might experience an appreciation for this film as we did for the classic, while at the same time you openly forget established rules to your universe in order to tell your retarded story. Stop rewriting the classic fucking movies, you insufferable twats. And what's this about people on the spectrum now being more advanced and evolved? Is that your piss poor way of explaining that the kid who should be put portrayed with obsession and repetitive behaviors is now a god among men, understanding alien technology and languages. And on top of that, why were the science people so adamant about keeping the spinal juice away from the Doctor to the point where they would kill her for having it? Why the fuck would they care if she found out the Predators were upgrading? Isn't the whole fucking reason you brought her on board to find that out? She's an evolutionary biologist film. Do you remember your own script? This fails so monumentally. How do you fuck up the Predator lore? From a movie standpoint, there was barely any of it anyway, and it was incredibly simple yet awesome to understand. From an extended universe perspective, though, you've just pissed all over a legion of media with your retarded fanfiction. I mean, holy fuck, way to Terminator Genesis the Predator franchise. Let's see how much worse this gets.
Ray Skywalker.
You can't just take their name, you petulant celery stick fuck. You're standing at the dual sons fucking duck fuck. What? This isn't your name to take, you piece of shit. How is BB-8 hanging out with you? BB-8 is Poe's fucking droid. Give it back, you greedy cow. Okay, that's credits, that's credits. We did it, we made it. Let's calm down, let's chill out and have a chat, shall we? Shut the fuck up, let's summarize. Storytelling has been a core part of the human experience since its inception. Through stories, we can teach the young and impressionable. We can caution the naive. We can inform the ignorant. Or we can find meaning in the lives we live by watching how these people do the same thing. As they face fictional hardships and heartaches, we can learn how to face them for real. Shitty fucking writing is ruining all of that. Shitty fucking writing is damaging the majority of franchises that were once pillars of a generation of media. Shitty fucking writing is getting more and more common the more we say it doesn't exist. The more that we say that consistency in character, plot, world, and theme is entirely a preference, the more you can expect stories like The Last Jedi, X-Men Dark Phoenix, Terminator Genesis, The Predator, Alien Covenant, Ghostbusters 2016, Captain Marvel, and Game of Thrones Season fucking 8. There is no skill, only feels. Words that will kill writing as a craft. Other than that stuff, I loved it.